okay, little Nikko. It's okay. It's okay. Did you go down there and get you a wiffle ball? Yeah. Petey just chased Nikko around and then was biting on him, so Nikko was screaming and ran up on my shoulder. Oh, you ran up on my shoulder? He said, yeah, yeah. Today is wiffle ball day. I do the wiffle balls about once a week or once every other week or so, just for something a little different. Oh, Nikko, jump back on me. So these guys do, I tell you, they do the darndest things during the day that I'm just not able to capture on film. And so I'm going to share a few stories with you. So it's going to be storytelling time. Nikko's trying to get down off of me. He wants to go get one of those balls, but he doesn't want to go around Petey. I don't know why Petey had a little attitude this morning and decided he didn't want Nikko around anything. 99% of the time they get along perfect, but every once in a while Petey just wants to pick on Nikko. Of course, you know what? Nikko picks on Petey too. So anyway, yeah, we're going to do some storytelling time here. You know, my favorite time of the day is when we go to bed at night. And they're so lovey at night. And but one of the reasons why it's my favorite time is because that's when we groom each other. They don't groom much during the day. I mean, a little bit. I catch them grooming each other a little bit during the day. But at night, that is grooming time for them. For some reason, at night when we go to bed, that's grooming time. But what Petey does is he will go and get Nikko. And like Nikko will be clear at the end of the bed. Nikko will go down there and just grab him and drag him over to me. And I lay down, sorry, Nikko's on me, so I'm going to be a little shaky. I lay down on my back with my head and shoulders kind of propped up on a pillow. And Petey will go and get Nikko and physically drag him over on top of my chest within inches of my face to groom me. Or not to groom me, to groom Nikko. And he'll groom him for quite a while. And then he will turn around and start grooming me. And Nikko has really started to get into the grooming himself. And he'll start grooming Petey while Petey's grooming me. And it's just, I can't even put into words how that makes me feel. I have to show you something. Nikko laying around my shoulder. Yeah. But I can't even tell you how it makes me feel. It just makes me feel so honored that they consider me to be part of their troop. And lately, they have started where they both groom me at the same time. So I've got one on either side of my shoulder laying on the bed. And I think Nikko has decided he's gonna, nope, maybe not. So one will lay on either side of me and groom. So I'm getting groomed on both sides of my head by them. And I just lay there, my eyes kind of rolled in the back of my head. Now I know why they enjoy it so much, because it's just so relaxing. But they'll both just be grooming me at the same time, and it's just my favorite time. My favorite time of the day. I just love it. And they like to get up on the headboard and jump off the headboard. And sometimes they'll just sit up there and sometimes they'll just sit up there and watch TV or play or whatever. And a couple weeks ago, Petey was, I have a window right next to my bed, and it's got those really thick blinds, those like 2-inch wooden blinds on it. And Petey started chewing on the blinds. And I'm trying to get Nikko to get down and go get him one. Why don't you come over here, Petey, so Nikko can go get him one. Yeah. And Petey's like, I'm not going to share. I'm not going to share. Put that one over there. I just kicked one off to the side, so maybe Nikko will go get it. But anyway, Petey started chewing on the blinds, and yep, Nikko got it. Oh, yep, he's going after him. I don't know what their deal is today. I'm gonna kind of kick these around a little bit so they're different places, but yeah, for some reason Petey is just after Nikko today. It's not very common. They don't usually do that. Anyway, so Petey started chewing on the blinds, and I'm trying to get his attention, telling him no, and telling him come here, and Nikko's up there, and he's acting like I'm not even there, like he's deaf, like he can't even hear me. And finally, after a few minutes of trying to get his attention, let me see if I can zoom in on Nikko here. After I was trying to get his attention and was unsuccessful, I said, okay, that's it. So I took him into the living room and put him in the living room enclosure and went back to bed with Nikko. And a couple minutes later, I'm laying in bed and it dawned on me. I was like, oh man, I forgot to put the... There we go, he got one now. Oh, there goes Petey going to get it from him. Oh, but he kept it. He still has it. But anyways, after a couple minutes, I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I forgot to put the padlock on. He's going to get out in the middle of the night. No telling what he's going to get into. So I got up. I was like, okay, I'll go put the padlock on. And as I'm walking down the hall, I was like, you know, I'll see if he wants to come back to bed. We'll see. I don't know if he will or not. And so I opened the door to the enclosure in the living room there. And I tell you what, Petey doesn't usually just come right to me. Sometimes it takes like up to a minute or so. I have to go in and sit down and wait for him to come to me when he decides, which is okay. That's not a huge deal. But I thought, you know, he's not going to come right to me. No big deal. If he doesn't, I'll just put the padlock on and go back to bed. I opened that door and he ran and jumped on my shoulder and wrapped his arms around my head, the fastest he has ever moved. He was like, I want to go back to bed with you guys. So I was like, oh, okay, so you want to go back to bed? Okay, we'll go back to bed. So we went back to bed. Perfect angel the rest of the night. Didn't even try anything. Just perfect little angel. Next night, he did the same thing. Started chewing on the blinds. I sat up in bed and I said, you want to go to the living room? He jumped down off the headboard, stayed on the bed the rest of the night, didn't even try it again. He's like, no, I don't want to go back to the bedroom or to the living room. I want to stay in here. It was so funny. So anyway, that little timeout did a little job for him. He kind of got the picture then. But Nikko's way up there with his. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh my goodness, these guys. Little Nikko's got, he got a little bit of a temper on him, and he's a biter. Not uncommon, because most baby monkeys, they are going to bite you when they don't like what you're doing or whatever, and they just kind of have to learn that they can't do that. And so, but I wanted to tell you, oh, Petey's up on me now. Hey there, Petey. Hey there, Petey. So, anyway, so last week, we were in the kitchen because when they can't come outside and play, they eat their monkey biscuit cereal in the kitchen at night or in the evenings. And Petey wants to ride the ride. If I can get him, I zoomed in and I can't unzoom with one hand. So anyway, we were in the kitchen and they were eating their monkey biscuit cereal. And I always have a napkin there because they tend to drop it on the table, and then I wipe it up so that they don't step in it and smear it everywhere or get it on me and my hair. So anyway, some of the monkey biscuit cereal had fallen out of Nikko's mouth on the table, so I went to go wipe it up with the napkin, and Nikko got mad and bit me. I don't know if he thought maybe I was going to if I was trying to take his food from him. I don't know, but he bit me pretty hard, drew blood and everything. And so I growled really loud at him. And Petey was on the other side of the table when it happened. And when I growled at him, Petey ran over to the other side of the table and bit Nikko really hard. Where's he at right now? He's under there. And bit Nikko really hard. And you know, the thing is that's not the first time that's happened. That's happened, gosh, at least 3 or 4 other times since I've had Nikko. When he bites me, I growl really loud and show my teeth to him. And Petey comes over and bites him. So it's almost like Petey's helping me train Nikko, letting Nikko know, hey, you can't go biting on her. So I find that quite interesting. He's gonna jump. Oh, yep, he did. He jumped on me. So, so it just goes to show how smart they really are. I mean, they're so smart. And I want to share a story with you about how smart they are. Back when I first got Petey, the people I got him from had sent his little cage with him that he slept in. And it was just a little, maybe like 30-inch by 20-inch cage, really small little cage. And when I first got him, it was very hard to get him to come out of it. He did not want to come out of that. And so what I did at night was just, I had it on a rolling cart, and I would roll it into my room and park it right there by my bed. And so the height was right at the level of the mattress. And I just left that door open, figuring I would just let him kind of move at his own pace and come out when he felt comfortable, not forcing him to come out with Kiara and I. Well, after quite a few days of that, he wouldn't come out to come sleep with us. Kiara would go into that little cage and grab his little stuffed animal and bring it out, so that, and it was one that he loved. I mean, he would hold on to it and rock with it, which broke my heart. But anyway, she would go in and grab it from him and bring it out onto the bed, so that he had to come out and get it. And then a few days after that, Nikko, he's trying to play bite. A few days after that, she would go in and physically drag him out. And physically drag him out onto me. And she was trying to get him to come out with her and I. And after quite a while of that, a couple of weeks of that, then he would start to come out slowly on his own during the night and come cuddle up with me and Kiara. But anyway, that's how smart they are. She knew that he needed to come out. He needed to be with us. And so she would force him to come out. I didn't want to force him, but she did. And I didn't stop her. You know, I thought, they know what they're doing. But that's how smart they are. They are so smart. I just wanted to share that story about Kiara, because today marks 1 year since I lost her. And I've been thinking about, I think about her all the time, but especially even more so the last couple of weeks, I really have. But anyway, I wanted to share that memory with you of her. My last story I want to share with you is, I think, the best. So when I come get them at night to come in, sometimes they're not ready to come in when I come get them. And sometimes it's almost getting dark out before they're ready to come in. And so this happened about, I don't know, it was maybe 3 weeks ago or so. And I just haven't been putting out very many videos lately, so I haven't been able to tell you guys these stories. But about 3 weeks ago or so, I come out here to get the boys, and I bring them in one at a time, because I can't bring them in and give them both a bath at the same time. I have to really pay attention, because since Petey is petrified of water, I pay very close attention to his body language, and you know, I don't want to get bit. So I'm very careful, and I pay attention, and I move real slow, and I take my time. And I can't do that with Nikko around, because he's a crazy boy. He runs all over the place. So anyway, I bring them in one at a time. So I came out, and usually whichever one comes to me first is the one I take in first. Well, Nikko had come to me, so I took him in, gave him his bath, put him in the living room enclosure, came back out to get Petey, and it was already starting to get dark out. It was about maybe, I don't know, 8 or so. And I came out to get Petey, and he would not come to me. So I'm like, okay. All right, well, sometimes what I've had to do is go back in the house and come back out 10 or 15 minutes later, and then he'll come to me. So I was like, okay, well, I went back in the house. 10 minutes later, I come back out, and to get him, still wouldn't come to me. I did that for over 2 hours. Finally, after 10 o'clock, it was almost 10:30, I think it was, at night. I'm exhausted already. And so finally I'm like, I don't know what to do. I cannot get him to come to me. He will not come in. So Petey camped out. Petey camped out that night. I did go in and check and make sure that we weren't going to get any rain overnight. And I checked to make sure that the temperatures weren't going to drop too low, which they're not, because it was July and the temperatures were really hot. And so I checked all that, and I thought, well, you know, I mean, he's got an enclosure out here, and he is a monkey, so I guess if he wants to stay outside. So he camped outside. But here's the funny part. The next morning I woke up, and I heard thunder kind of far away, but I heard it, and I was like, oh no, we've got storms moving in. So I went and put Nikko in the living room and went and checked the weather, and sure enough, we had storms. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope Petey's going to come to me. He's going to be out there in those storms. So I come out here to get him. He came right to me. I took him in the house. I gave him a quick bath. I put him in the living room, and he went straight into the hammock, slept for 3 hours, and then he woke up and groomed Nikko for a few minutes, got him some monkey biscuits, and then went back to his hammock and slept for another couple hours. And he got back up, got him a couple monkey biscuits. I took him to the sunroom so they could have some playtime for a couple hours, and then I took him back to the hang on here, here we go. Took him back to the living room, and he slept again for another, it was a good couple of hours. So basically he slept all day, which told me he did not sleep at all the night that he was out here. He didn't sleep because he slept all day inside the house. So, and I will tell you that ever since then, I have not had a problem getting him to come to me at night. I mean, sometimes sometimes they don't want to come to me when I'm ready for them to come in. But what I've started doing is, what I've been doing in the past is they always get a grape after their bath. It's kind of a little treat that they get for being good, for taking their bath. Well, they don't get that anymore. Now they get that when they come to me out here, when they come to me to come in at night. So if I'm wanting them to come in a little earlier than before it starts getting dark, that's how I get them to come in. Because, you know, the funny thing is during the day, I come out here and they're all over me. I mean, they jump on me, they climb on me, they're all over me. But at night when it's time to come in, because they know the routine, I bring out their monkey biscuit cereal between 5 and 5:30, and then usually about an hour to an hour and a half later, I come back out to get them to bring them in to go to bed, and they know that routine. So when I come back in here after their monkey biscuit cereal, that's when they know it's time to go in, and they don't always come right to me. So anyway, but that's the story of Petey camping out. He camped outside that night, and surprisingly, it did take me a while to fall asleep, and I did wake up quite a few times in the night because I was like, he's not with me. But I did manage to get a couple of hours of sleep, but he did not sleep at all. A little turkey. So anyway, those are a few stories I wanted to share with you guys. Oh my goodness, these monkeys, I tell you what, they are little characters. Little characters. Is that good stuff there, Nikko? That is some good stuff. Petey's just hanging out under here. I might have to, I can't really get him that well under there. Okay, I think that's it for storytelling time. I mean, there's tons of stories I could tell you guys. I might do another video later with some more stories, but those are just a few that off the top of my head I wanted to share with you guys.